Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on your time zone. We are back with more art on the weekend. Let's go ahead and switch screens really quickly because I realized just now that I kind of forgot to set up the chat window. So let's do that super quick. That's all right. Oh, I guess it doesn't want me to do that. 1 second. I was so distracted this morning. I don't know how your guys' days are going so far, but mine has been really distracting since I woke up today. It's been really easy to get lost in the sauce. I'm just trying to get ready this morning. I think that should do it. Okay. Hello, good morning, Bingo Ned. Hello, some random guy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you both could make it. We are gonna work on some comic stuff today. And while the comic on the thumbnail, or the art on the thumbnail, is in fact for a webtoon, it is a webtoon that I am in development with, and we are not technically drawing that one today. We are going to work on Venerable, the next chapter of Venerable. And these are the characters on screen now that we are going to be, not these. This is some references for Marty with curly hair done by you wonderful people. And this one right here with the crown on, that's actually Bingo Ned's, who's in the chat. I am referencing your art of my characters so that I can try to draw her with her hair curly today. Real quick, let me go shut my door because there's a lot of noise coming through the house. That's better. A little bit quieter now. Not as much background noise, I hope. Although I don't know if you guys can hear it over the music. Let me know if the music's too loud, or if you don't hear the music at all and I have it too low. I can never really tell with the little sliders that I'm using. Bingo Ned said, oh hey, I did that. Yeah, that one's yours. We are going to work on a new scene today for these characters. And as soon as I move my references up here, where I can keep an eye on them, actually, I would like to put them over here with the other references. I just need to make it smaller so I can kind of share the screen. That's better. Okay, yeah, that works for me. So here is kind of a panel that I got started last night after work. That's the other thing too, work has been nuts, y'all. If you have been in Discord, you know, because I have been talking about it quite a bit. The music is a little too loud, says Bingo Ned. Okay, well, we'll change that. Let me find my cursor. And we'll bump that down a little bit. Let me know if that's good. Hopefully that's good. But I can make adjustments to make this just a better experience for everybody that's joining us today on stream or watching this later if they watch it later. Their choice. But yeah, so what we're doing here, let me go ahead and hide some of these poses real quick. Yeah, this one too. We're working in a new space today because we have moved along the story. Marty has already been introduced to you. Spoilers, by the way. Our lovely leading lady Marty has already been introduced to the king, and she's made it to the castle, and they are outfitting her for a knighting ceremony after she passed the first test. So we're going to be drawing a couple of panels in the armory. And last night I did get this background all drawn and set up, and we're gonna see it a couple of times, just a different kind of like cropped in versions of it. So here we start with just the side of the room. We're gonna have like a headshot here. We're gonna have a wide here of the full room with all the players in it, which you kind of just saw a minute ago when I had all these characters sort of in the scene. And then we'll do the other side of the room. So we were on the left side first, now we're on the right side of the room. We're gonna have some talking characters over here. This one's gonna be kind of like a more macro scale headshot. It's gonna have like a bust of Marty here. And I want her kind of like breaking out of the panel as well. So I want like the top of her head to come up and over. this line because I haven't done a breakout panel in a while and I kind of miss it. I think that I kind of need to break some panels. It's been feeling a little bit stuffy. Yeah, and then we have like a 3/4 shot here and then another with a background here. And so we're going to have 3 characters in this shot. We're going to have one in front of the door, one here speaking, and then the king is going to be standing off in the corner here. So that is strip 1 for the next chapter that we're working on. And we're going to start with this one since it's got the placement of all the characters in it. And so I wanted to do this scene first, this shot first, so that I know where everybody is in the room, so that I have consistency when I'm doing the other shots. And B, it's just the fullest view of the space anyway. So I just thought that that would be a great way to get a sense of, it's basically our establishing shot. It's just a little bit further down the page than usual. That said, I don't know what it was about this positioning that I wasn't 100% sure about when I went to sleep last night. I was kind of not feeling something. Let me move them around a little bit. I think I kind of just didn't like how much of the decor that they were covering up because we can't see the breastplate back here. We can barely see the rug. But the problem with putting them anywhere else is now we're covering up the people, or we're putting Digby in the margins. Not Digby, Martin in the margins. So I think the only place for him really, or for these two, is to put them exactly where I had them. So maybe that's just what we gotta do. Is kind of like leave them here where they were. And I do kind of feel like we can break them out of the paneling here as well. The way they're like sort of sitting on top of the panel and the bodies kind of come over it. I kind of like that. I think it looks cool. It gives us like a nice foreground, midground, background sort of feel. I haven't been this happy with a panel in a couple of chapters, so I'm really excited about this one. Some random guy says, it doesn't sound loud to me, but then you have 15 speaker drivers. Cheaper and better than a sound bar. Bingo Ned, you can't move the items in the background? No, because I drew them all in one layer, actually, because I was just knocking it out yesterday. And if I wanted to move something, I would lasso tool it, and then I would just move it. And then I would you can kind of tell because you can see some places where I decided to change something. And, is this it? Yeah. And then, whatever I changed would leave like this residue. So you can kind of tell that I was sort of like just doing everything on one layer and then trying to clean it up afterwards, trying to fill things in that needed filled in and stuff like that. So for example, hang on, what's going on here? Let's pick up, I don't know, this pen. We'll do this one. Like we've got a little bit of, whoops. Oh, come on. My keyboard's being kind of picky. A little bit of a spot there. Some spots here that maybe don't look the most filled in, you know. It's not perfect, but that's what I get for trying to do something quick. Backgrounds are not, oh my gosh, what did I do? I don't know what I did, but I definitely don't want to do that again. I don't know where my stuff went. Let's save. Someone will get, you could expand the frame down and make them more into the foreground. Yeah, it could bring the floor, like this bottom panel line down further. But I prefer them breaking out of the panel. I don't want them contained inside the scene. I like sort of doing this 3D effect where it's like a 3D movie where stuff will come off of the screen, you know? And I kind of like that. I think it looks fun. So we're gonna do that. This is Marty getting suited up in her armor for the first time. So we get a wardrobe change as well, which is always fun. We can get kind of tired sometimes drawing characters in the exact same outfit over and over and over again. Seminary guy says, I keep finding line art. I can hop back here where we can see what you guys are saying. I keep finding line art on my drawing that shouldn't exist. It just gets in the way. Sounds like a layers A layer's a shoe. Oh, speaking of poses, you can totally tell I borrowed these poses. I didn't even try to hand draw these poses because they're so tiny. These people are so little in the background that I was like, I just want this shape. So I just popped them in. I grabbed them on Pinterest, these references, and I don't plan on like tracing them verbatim. I just wanted the shape. So let's go ahead and grab a new layer. And like, they're gonna be so tiny in the background, you know? But we're gonna go ahead and grab this new layer and we're gonna grab a blue so we can see what's new and what's old. And we're just gonna come in here on top of the red, right? And we're gonna give like the head shape. I should probably do this with a pencil version of this pen. The face, connect the chin to the jaw, like the ear should go here, give it a neck, right? We're gonna put a shoulder here, a shoulder here. We're gonna give it the body. We're gonna give the body its body, right? That's the other thing about this pen is it like creates these fills that it doesn't need, all right? And so then we got like the waist, the back, the butt's gonna come here and sit on the, it's gonna come in here and sit like this on the table, right? We're just taking the pose. We just want the pose. That's all we want with this. And then we're gonna just bring this knee up like this. And that should take care of that pose there. And then we're just gonna slide, and look, before I do this, I just wanna hide this to see if I can read the pose. I forgot the foot, the bottom foot. So let's come down here and we're just gonna bring the shape of the foot here as well. So we're gonna come in here. And now if I hide that original layer, we've basically got some shape language here for the body, which is all we really need. We're gonna do the same thing with these other two poses because these are not my characters and I don't want them to look like those characters. I want them to look like my characters. So we're gonna come in here. Head shape. Why is this such a feathered pencil? I don't like that. Is there another option that's less feathered? Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay. Neck, shoulders, shoulder, torso. So we're gonna kind of like just give the torso here. Have it bend here because we're gonna bring this hip out because I picked these poses because even though they're just standing still, I wanted them to have some kind of like strong silhouette, some kind of strong shape language. Like, I don't know why I keep saying it like that, but you know, just a stronger shape so they didn't just look flat, right? I didn't want them to look like cardboard cutouts, so I wanted them to be doing something. And then this arm was originally doing something else, so I erased it and I just drew in that line. All right, and then we've got some feet here. This side too, just put a foot on there. Perfect. And then I'm not even gonna trace that hair because I don't want her hair looking like that. I just want the pose. Same thing here with our king dude. Shoulder, shoulder, connect them. This one, the torso is a little like tucked under and then the hips are kind of thrust out. So we're gonna just do the same thing. I don't know if pockets is like really a thing at this point in fashion history, so we're gonna, I mean, it is a fantasy world. I can kind of make it do whatever I want, but we're kind of just gonna put the hands here and bring in the rest of this shape for the body. And that's basically all I wanted from those poses. And now if I hide this, you can kind of see what I was doing here. And I kind of wish now I didn't use the feathered pin for this sitting pose. So let's maybe touch that up. Shrimp Burrito, hello, Give Marty a Machine Gun. What are you doing? Hi, wow, I didn't know you could do that. What is that? I think that's a super chat, right? Is that how that works? Is that what that is? I think that's my first super chat, you guys. It's amazing, thank you. Heck yeah, now we're talking. I don't know if they have machine guns in this world. According to AI, the human body magically changes shape and hairstyle in mid-air and grows extra fingers. At least the Perry King looks like a king. My king looks like Burger King. Oh my gosh. My king, I've been struggling with my king, but we'll get him where we want him. We'll eventually nail it. I don't love, I'm gonna be honest, I don't love this feathered pen that I accidentally used for this. So I'm just gonna kind of like try again. We're gonna try again real quick with the pen that was like more serious, okay? Just gonna erase that a little bit. Come in here like this. And just kind of like put it all back. I think I need the original source material though to see like where that was supposed to go. The original pose. All right. I'm gonna just kind of bring the knee up like this. Shoe back like this. I'm not even sure if I'm putting that in the right spot because this pose is not super crystal clear. I just really liked the way he was sitting, so I wanted somebody sitting on this table. I think that's good enough. I think we can work with that. Okay, so there we go. Just like that, we've like nailed out, or we hammered out our poses. I'm gonna delete those originals because I really don't want to just copy those characters. I just wanted how they were standing or sitting. Delete, delete, delete. Where's delete? Oh man. Maybe if I merge them and then I can delete them. Or we just delete them like that. There we go. Yeah, all right, I'm happy now with that. So I'm gonna combine these two things. These are both my pose layers. Now I've got my foreground pose people, my background pose people. Perfect. A Drawfin machine gun that shoots iron marbles instead of bullets, a Summer guy. Bingo Ned, give Marty a royal machine gun from the Royal Armory at Or We Riot. Yikes, I think I don't have a choice. All right, let's see, what is this machine gun gonna look like? Who needs swords on the walls? When we need like a machine gun. Wait, or like, what's that kind that has like the round, you know, the mobster gun? I have no reference, you guys. I'm just kind of like, it's got like a round thing and then like the bullets hang off like this. You know what I'm talking about? It needs iron sights. It needs a buttstock. It needs a barrel. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. Delete is available for a monthly fee, says some random guy. You know, with the way things are going, with all of our software turning into subscriptions, where you can't just buy and own a program anymore, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where we were headed. Half the gold peeling off because it's fake tacky gold and matte black everywhere. Oh, Tommy gun, yes, silly goose. Thank you. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, that mobster gun. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly it. Okay, so now what we need to do is, I think what I need to do is hide the background, to be honest, so that I'm not distracted by it and I'm not letting where lines intersect, like here, stop me from drawing like hair or anything, because I don't want that cramping what I'm trying to draw and stopping me from seeing what I need to draw. So we're gonna hide the background layer. I know it's already where it needs to be. And we're gonna start drawing our characters. Actual line art for this shot. And I think for this pen, or for the front guys, the guys in the foreground, maybe this thicker, darker pen. And then maybe for the background guys, the thinner pen, this one. That's what I'm thinking. Is this not solid black? It's not. That was a little bit reddish. That was interesting. That's solid black. Okay. So besides joining me for a stream, which I really appreciate, you guys. I love that you guys are here. Thank you for joining. Are you working on any comics of your own this morning? Or art, even if it's not a comic? Or evening, if it's not morning? I know not everybody lives in the same time zone. I think Martin's going to be the easiest, so let's do Martin first. We can start with Captain Martin. Bingo says, I'm in comic pre-production overdrive. Tell me about it. What is your comic pre-production overdrive entail? How is that going? Oh, that's the wrong button. When I flip my pen over, it should be an eraser. Here we go. Also, maybe if I lowered the opacity of these sketches, I could see what I'm drawing with the line art pen. There we go. I'm gonna save. And we're gonna keep going. And I'm gonna go full screen. By full screen, this is what I mean. Just a little bit easier for you guys to watch. And thank you, by the way, for the likes. I can see that those are starting to pile up. I appreciate it, especially for such an early stream. And I know that people tend to trickle in throughout the, well, morning for me. And Bingo Netted said it was about lunchtime for him, so I do know that this is not always the optimal hour, but I appreciate you guys being here. And then I'm gonna just really kind of stick to my original sketch here because I really liked it. There wasn't really anything that I felt like I wanted to change, so. Consistency with Dear Martin. I don't want him to look like he's got like a goatee. We're gonna fix that right there. Perfect. Nope, I messed that up. Somehow that's not, I thought I could fix it, but it honestly looks better the way it was. Okay. Sometimes the pen, like when you go to ink, it just looks, the pencils looked so much better, you know? I do think this eye is a little bit crooked. It's a little cockeyed, so maybe we can fix that a little bit. Make it look a little more like this. And get the iris, the eyeball looking more at her arm, where he's trying to like put on her, what are those called? The wrist parts, the forearm, arm, greaves or something maybe? I don't know. Bingo Ned says, currently grinding away at the third of 4 concept arts to send to my background artist, Monster Design, and trying to finish the story outline. Yeah, it's a big lift. Comics are surprisingly involved. There's a lot. There's a lot of steps to it. Even just getting to the stuff that we're on now here on screen that we're drawing doesn't happen quickly. This step is like really far along in the comic making process. Summer Guy says, I briefly mentioned on Discord I'm going to make a comic of my web novel when it's done. I remember you saying that. That's great. I think adapting other media into comic form is really great. I'm a fan. I think it's awesome to do that. All right, let's see. My guy, you are just like confusing the heck out of me here for some reason. Okay, so I need to start thinking about what is he wearing. I don't just want the body shape. He needs to be wearing something, and normally he's been wearing his armor up until this point, but since everybody's gone to their rooms and cleaned up and changed, maybe we should give him a change of clothing too. I do have another outfit that he could be wearing, and that's this one with a tunic, and it's got like the castle symbol on it, and then just, you know, the boots and stuff. These are his 2 outfits. His armor, but I'm kind of tired of drawing the chainmail hood. And then this tunic outfit. So since everybody's getting an outfit change, I think I'm gonna put him in this one. What were we saying before that? And did the music stop? I can't tell. No, it's just really quiet. Them's the goals for today. So it's been good. They're probably going to send me the second concept art today. Well, that's good. And then for now, some random guy, I have Pizza Demon Chan's transformation. Later, I'm going to work on my AI Destroyer image. Horrific, and I love it. So some random guy. Also, I never loved my own work, but as bad as it is, I'm specifically set up to mess with AI, so it's perfect. Can't let the IA can't let the IA win. Oh man, dang it. Okay, I can do this. So the tunic, it looks like the tunic's a little wide. So it kind of comes out like this, and then it's got like this little cutout piece here, and then goes back around like that. Yeah, love that. We're gonna do that. And then it's open here, and then he's wearing a different colored shirt underneath. Why did I do that way? I did that kind of backwards. I think what I'll do, even though he has the sleeves kind of like rolled up. Yeah, we can do the rolled up sleeves. That's fine. I think that works. So there we go with that. And then the tunic can still come around the head like this. Not quite like that, because it should still curl around the body. You shouldn't have like the Hulk back. My cat's trying to get out. He's like, open this door. Let me out. All right, let me go let him out. I'm sorry. I must listen to the cat. He runs the house. All right, buddy, come on. I heard you. It wasn't the cat that was in the room that wanted out. It was one that was out of the room that wanted in. So now I have two cats in here. You might hear them from time to time. Okay, yeah, I think that works. So then we just kind of need the symbol on the top. And I think that's fine there. It's gonna be belted, but we won't see that part because it goes behind the arm, and then the tunic kind of comes out like this. Where's the split? The split is kind of here. Buddy, why you mowing at me? He wants up. He wants in my chair. He wants to give me cat paralysis is what he wants. And I don't want that. I want to be able to draw. My cat's constantly trying to like prevent me from drawing. Oh, ads are going to probably run in the next minute. So just a heads up if you get a break from what is on screen currently. I am so glad to be doing this wardrobe change though, honestly. It's so refreshing to be able to draw him wearing something else. Buddy, please stop crying. Being an ad, Perry, are you sure you're feeding and giving those cats plenty of attention? They're meowing a lot, and it's been 10 seconds since since I looked at them. Yeah. Oh, they all got breakfast this morning. They get wet food breakfast. They get like special breakfast. And then they have dry food during the day for lunch and dinner. And then they get treats. They get lots of attention. All right, buddy. There you go. You're up. You're up in my lap. Lap kitty paralysis has begun. We're gonna do some lap kitty. I'm sorry that the drawing is taking so long. It's like so slow going. We'll get there. I'm focusing. We're gonna focus. What I do kind of need, whoops, is to see what both of them are wearing what Marty and Martin, the two Martys, Martha and Martin, what both of them are wearing. So I'm going to move my reference around just a little bit because they both have like on these like buddy, come on, let me focus, please. My cat is so needy. Can you guys hear him purring though? He is purring. Some cats will force their way onto the table because they need your undivided attention. This is true. The comic can wait. Absolutely. The cats always, they have final say, you know? They get the final say on everything. So unfortunately, if they say we're not drawing right now, we're petting cats, we're petting cats. That's just how that works, right? They decide, they know, and they decide, they determine what it is we are doing, what it is we're allowed to do. Pretty sure that's the agreement we made when we decided to adopt cats. Okay, so her, man, I just want to keep calling these greaves, but I really don't know if that's even what they're called. And honestly, I feel like that should not be bending that much. It can be rounded, but it can't be like following the bent wrist because that doesn't make any sense. Maybe more like that. Okay, I think that's a good shape. We'll go with that. And then, goodness. I'm not gonna have him wearing one. He's just gonna have his exposed forearms because he's not suiting up. He's kind of abdicating. How do you say that word? He's sort of abdicating the role that he has spent his whole life preparing to fulfill to Marty. So this is kind of like a hard moment for him, but he's taking it in stride, you know? He's being as graceful as one can be under the circumstances. I mean, him and Martha still had words. Not Martha, him and Dorothy still had words that were a little bit less than supportive of Martha. But other than that, I think he's kind of taken it in stride for the most part. And that's my personal opinion anyway. What do you guys think? Did you read the last chapter? If you did, greaves are like shin armor. So these are bangles, or you think they're bangles, says Bingonet. That's good to know because I keep calling them greaves, thinking that that's what they were. Okay, so I think, oh, come on, wrong button. It's hard to like use my keyboard when I have a cat in my lap because he kind of blocks it. So I'm kind of like blindly pushing buttons. Like, does this work? What about this? Will this work? All right, so far, I think the line art's reading pretty well. I feel like we should be seeing more of, yeah, that's that kind of shape here with the hair. But overall, looking good. So we'll keep going. To make people scared of defying them, in my story, Darren is manipulated by the church into being the hero, but it's really just a power stunt to some random guy. And this is the story that you put in the Discord, right? The one in the your literature section? Oh no, the cat has discovered the pen. The cat has discovered the pen. Oh no, he's attacking the pen. That's just that I need that, buddy. I'm using that. This is why comics take so long. It's secretly just about the cat. Ow, hey, ow, ow, ow. Bud, claws out. Okay? The cat wants the stylist. Ah! Please stop. Please stop. Ah! No, kitty, stop doing that. Buddy, just stay here. Just stay still. Relax. It's cool. Does this still look good? The tunic without the being able to see kind of like the... Yeah, I think so, but I'm a little unsatisfied with this kind of like belt placement kind of tucked under here. I think I could do better than that. There we go. Something just a little, maybe a little less definitive, you know? Especially considering how much of it is just sort of hidden by their arms. It's the little things, I promise. Someone guy says to make some people scared. Oh, I've put that part. I've put both. I put parts of both that in my web novel in there on the Discord. Mainly if I have an interesting event I want to share, says some random guy. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap up Digby's drawing here because I think we can move on to Marty pretty quickly. I think did not like that shape. That's better. And there. Okay, and oh, this arm back here. We still need this arm. Not quite, not quite, not quite. How do I feel about that? I feel like it's a little too far back. It's really shortening his bicep is just really short that way. I think we need to bring it forward a little. And then I gotta find a way to connect that a little better. I think that's not perfect, but I don't hate it. The elbow needs to really go back, but then how do I do that? How do I make, maybe if I bring the shoulder up further and then bend it like it's bending, like he's jutted the elbow back? Is that better? I can't tell. I think it's fine. It's fine, right? This will be fine. Similar guys, same color in your webcomic. The hero wants to kill a summoned demon lord, but mistook her for the other person because of the hair. It's the same color. Okay, okay. I read that a little backwards. I read this a little out of order, but I think it's okay. We're gonna be okay. All right, so, Martin is ready. Martin is done. Now it's time to put Marty in her armor. So let's do that. Let's give our leading lady her own layer. And then we're gonna put on this thing, right? Like this, what did we call it, Bingo Ned? What did we decide these were called? Not greaves. They're, what are they? well, whatever it was we decided these were called. We're going to put those on her other arm. Nope, 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 nope. Did not like that. I made the fingers a little too small somehow. Sometimes I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, but we'll figure it out. There we go. That's good. On to the next. Bangles, Bojangles. I'm hungry. Yeah, bangles. Those are her bangles. Bangles sounds like jewelry to me. It doesn't sound like an armor term, but we'll go with that. Merge down. And then it's time for the body of the armor. So she's got, it's kind of going to be the opposite of what he has, where he has the split on the side of the tunic there. For the armor for Marty, she's actually got like these, whatever this part is, the flank flaps or whatever, the part of the armor that's supposed to like protect, you know, your sides. And then there's like, because it's got to be like fastened on, there's going to be these little fasteners on this part of the armor so that the flaps can fasten on under it. And then there's going to be like a little bit of like an indent here. I'm thinking and then, gosh, I've only ever drawn this armor from one angle. I don't actually know my armor too well. I guess it's gotta like come up like this, right? And then it goes over the shoulder. Yeah, like that. That's pretty good. We can start with that. Should I maybe turn the red down a little bit? It seems a little bit still too strong. To kind of, there, maybe just a teensy bit, like that. This music is getting kind of intense too. Summertime guy, I still have over 18 hours until you eat again. Are you fasting? Are you going through, is it like, I'm not sure I really understand. It sounds like you're fasting. So I'm gonna have her kind of like wearing these puffy sleeves because I'm a sucker for puffy sleeves. That hasn't changed. We're still gonna have the puffy sleeves of the her tunic, right? Just like that. Perfect. Love it. And then Marty's also gonna have her own kind of like, let's see, if we put the leg forward here. And then this one's gotta come back. Like this. Oh, that looks not... Maybe this stance is a little teensy bit too wide. More like that. That I think I can work with. Oops. All right. We are getting somewhere. Actually, I'm kind of loving it. Yay! It's not every panel that I draw people kind of large like this. I'm usually drawing them so tiny, and I want to like kind of break away from that too. 'Cause sometimes we get into these habits, right? And you have to like look back at your progress in order to like catch on to stuff like that. Where like for the last few, or at least just the last chapter, maybe it's just the last chapter. Let me take a look. We are going to explore this idea together, this notion together. Okay, so. Come on. Just this tab. Thank you. Let's go to this last chapter real quick. And we're going to scroll through here. Actually, I do kind of like this, what I did here. The top-down view of them. Bird's eye view. Walking through the hallway. Getting to the room. That felt a little bit innovative. But then this was kind of like dollhouse viewing the room with Marty here and Digby. Fading that out in the background so that we can have this more serious conversation, this more somber conversation with with Dottie and Martin. I really should have changed their names. They're too similar. Yeah, but like everything's pretty contained, right? Like none of these are breaking the panel. They're really tiny. Like look how small the characters are there. I had to outline them white here just to be able to see them on the background because they were kind of like getting lost in the sauce. Staying in the panel, talking heads, but they're staying in the panel. Still inside the panel. I just added a little text sound effect here, SFX at the last minute. Really simple background, nothing too impressive about that. I do like the movement in these poses. Like I like this, where you can see him kind of like taking off the helmet and pushing back the hood. This is a really cute face. I really like this one. But again, we're still pretty static shots, right? Like everything's inside the panel. Everything's pretty simplified. There's nothing really complex about the backgrounds in this one. I even messed up the background inside that room. This should not be at this angle. I keep thinking I'm gonna go back and fix it. I might eventually, and then subtly upload the change without telling anybody. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It does what we needed it to do this chapter, but I didn't feel super good about any of these shots. So I wanted to try and do something a little bit more this time. And that's why we're doing it this way. Because I wanted it to feel, I don't know, just a more satisfying drawing. I think I got kind of monotonous and I wanted to bring some life back into it. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Someone guy says, I need to have a long talk with my past self. There's about 1 million vector lines hiding in the corner. Well, good luck. I'm going to go ahead and combine these because I'm pretty happy with it. And I can always just unlock it and erase it if I change my mind about anything that's currently here. But so far, I like the armor. I like the tunic sleeves. We need to get Marty's curly hair. And here's the part that I've been kind of like dancing around and doing everything but her hair. Because this is the first time I'm drawing it curly and I don't really know how that's going to turn out. So I think And so this is the brush I use a lot when I'm doing her flower crown, because it makes these really pretty shapes like this. I was thinking maybe this would work too for like, for curly hair, but it might be a little too much. And then this one is what I've been using. I can go a little bit lighter with this. Ooh, I like that. That's kind of pretty. That makes some pretty curly shapes. Yep, I think we're using this brush. Okay, cool. We found something. Bingonette says it's really easy. Just draw lumps. Just draw a bunch of B's. Letter B, letter B, letter B. B, B, or backwards threes. Or no, they're forwards threes. The number 3, right? Just draw a bunch of threes. Oh, sorry, buddy. My cat's upset at me because I moved around too much. You're so picky. You're such a picky cat. Okay, so she normally has like this, right? This is kind of like her normal do when her hair is all straightened. But the thing is here, Marty's hair is not straight. She uses a flat iron to make it that way. And since they've had a bath and a change of clothing, we're now going to see her with her real hair. So I'm thinking, we don't even need that, to be honest. We'll just go up here. Draw a circle but with a shaky hand, or if you want bigger shapes, think of how a kid would draw trees with those loopy blob shapes, says Bingonette. Guys, sometimes you need to learn through mistakes, like how I didn't give Sakura cat ears in B1, although she's described many times as a cat girl in the story. Yeah, little details can sometimes elude you. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm thinking we can give Marty I wanted to have a little more volume out this direction, so we'll bring that out a little further. Like that. And then I think that's kind of cute, right? And then if we could see the other side, it would kind of be like just here like this. Let's see with adding in details like she needs her ear. And since this is a larger size than we often get with her panels, dang, I messed that ear up pretty bad. We should be able to get her star earring in here as well. 10 out of 10, says Bingonette. 10 out of 10, you guys heard it. You heard it here, folks. 10 out of 10 for this curly hair for Marty. Oh gosh, that pin's way too big. Let's try, because I'm trying to draw her little star-shaped earring. There we go. Marty's star-shaped earring. Beautiful. And then we need wow, how am I failing so bad at just drawing this simple line? Oh, because I'm using the wrong pen. No wonder. There we go. That's kind of what I wanted. Gotta remember Marty also has glasses on. I didn't draw those when I was doing the pose. I definitely don't want to forget it. Buddy, do we have to move around so much? Bud. The cat's not, he's not having it. All right, buddy. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, I am now cat free. There you go. 11 out of 10.5 says some random guy. The ratings don't lie. We're doing good here, folks. We're doing good. Curly-haired Marty is a success. Might be nitpicking, but this hair type doesn't tend to have the tails that droop at the sides there. When I drew it, I tried to turn them into braids. Let me look at yours. Oh, I see. You've got like twisties. I wonder if we could just kind of like turn them into like braids like that. That works. That was a simple enough fix. It could have a small amount of fluff on the left side. Left? This side? Like bring a little bit out. And dang, having them braids actually does make it cuter. It does. Especially since we're doing away with the flower crown in this outfit. So giving her a little something instead is kind of nice. And I'm just going to try to like connect these lines a teensy bit. To make it look like it was kind of like, you know. Oh, I should probably do the same thing up here for this. Speaking of connecting lines, define this shape. Okay. There we go. That looks a little more serious. Okay, dang, having the, okay, I feel like gold could work as a signifies luxury in high class. My character's all lack class. LOL. Yeah, go for it. I gave, so aside from, in Venerable, for whatever reason, I don't remember why I initially did this, but aside from the captain who wears all black armor, all the other soldiers so far have been wearing this gold armor. And Marty's gonna get gold armor as well. She's freshly knighted, you know, so she's not quite gonna like usurp him of his captain duties. That would be kind of silly. But she is kind of like here to fulfill the prophecy. And she was the only one who could solve the riddle. That was the first step of the prophecy. So they've obviously, Martin's gonna have to step aside and let her be the Marty. After all, she is the one who solved the riddle, not him. So. Okay, so now I kind of gotta get the glasses on here, which I've been sort of avoiding too, but that's gotta happen. So let's go ahead. Oh, shoot. There's no need for it to be that bad. These brushes can be kind of picky sometimes. They kind of do what they want. That's what I like about them, because they're kind of like, they're really like sketchy. But then every once in a while, they kind of work against you. You gotta Do a little bit of backtracking, a little bit of erasing lines you don't want. I think that works. And I just realized this comes up way too high because it's giving her like a receding hairline and I don't like that. So we're gonna bring that down a touch. All right. What do you guys think? Have we done a good job here? Let me hide the red. How do we feel about this? So I haven't added the shading yet, obviously, aside from this one little line here. And I will come through here and I will shade it. I guess we could do that now. Let's merge with layer below, lock them, and then save, and we will start shading a little bit just to test it out, just to take a look, just to get a feel for it, you know? Hello, KK, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Some guy, I like easting. What is easting? I don't know what that means. Okay, I'm starving, food time. I'll be back if you're still streaming by the time I'm done eating. Okay, yeah, get something to eat. Oh, that's the wrong pen. Okay, let's pull up this one because I like to use this one for shading. And we're just gonna kind of like start with that because I know that area should be kind of like in shadow. And then we'll kind of do the same thing with these, the bottom part of these fingers that are kind of like wrapping around Marty's arm. And then, yeah, obviously under the armor. You can kind of count on that to be an area of shading like that. I'm okay, says KK. Things have been a tad rough, but I'm glad you're streaming. It's a fun distraction. Well, I'm so glad that that could be a fun distraction for you and that we can hang out on stream. It's always a pleasure to hang out together on stream. Someone guy says, I'm not so much of a fan of northing though. Oh, okay, you're doing you're just saying some silly stuff. Gotcha. I'm following. Might have been lost for a hot second. She doesn't have a neckline. We need to fix that. She needs to at least have... Oh gosh. Maybe not. Maybe the neckline can just go under the armor. Because it's a little bit really close to the top of her face there. What do you guys think? Are you digging the new outfits for Marty and Martin here? I know, I'm really happy to be doing a wardrobe change. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Just to keep things kind of fresh, you know? Sometimes you just need a little change, that's all. Doesn't take too much, you know? Just a little. And there we go. And I think that's a little much on the nose. Let's zoom in a teeny bit. KK says, looks great. Thank you, Summernum Guy. I'd add some trim to separate the top and bottom of the armor, but that's just what I'd do. Trim. Trim. I'll take a look once I zoom back out, but let me finish getting... So Martin's the one that's got like the perpetual eye bags, right? So we're gonna kind of just eye bag him up a little bit here. And then shade under the hair. And then Marty's gonna have her shadow too. And also under the hair. There we go. I'm genuinely really happy with this. I think, so let me find, so I know that the like flaps of like these side armor pieces are kind of like fastened on, right? Like they fasten on here. Actually, I think I could do that shadow a little better as well. So we don't need to put it on here. Not what I want. Let's see. So close. That's better. So I kind of like that. And then if we wanted to try to shade it again, we could. Like that. That's a little better. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I like that. That's good. And then maybe since we have like this elbow shadow here, we can just kind of like follow the arm a little bit. Like the arm is still casting a shadow on the armor under it, just the tiniest bit, just to help it pop out a little. I'm really pleased with this. I'm gonna go ahead and combine these layers. I think they look fantastic. And now we can just draw the rest of the scene with the rest of the characters. Okay, gotta go, but have a nice stream. Catch you later, says KK. Bye, glad you were able to make it. I appreciate you being here. And Sunroom Guy says, like what I did with Sakura, but shaped to the armor. I'm gonna stick with the shape that I have here just because I want to keep it consistent. I did just realize though that there's supposed to be little fasteners on this part of the armor as well. Up here, because like that's how the armor plate like closes. Up here at the shoulders, that's how she puts it on and off. So we're gonna add her little shoulder fasteners up here as well. And I think that should do us as far as Marty's armor design goes. Because it is, I also am keeping in mind, like, I don't want to overdo it. Because we've already seen armor in this comic several times now. And it's very much been the same sort of style and design. So I don't want to go, like, too far outside of the aesthetic that's already established in this world, because that would seem really weird. Like if I brought in some like elven high fantasy looking armor when nobody else has had that anywhere near this world. So it's been very simple, like this. And if we look at, let's say, goodness, where did the music track go? I know if I unselect it, it'll stop playing, so I gotta be careful with it. What is this? Why is this up here? Everything got bumped around really weirdly. What was I saying? Oh, I was trying to show you something. That's right. I was gonna show you an example. And a good example would be, I think we had a chapter that had the soldiers in it like several times. It was in here. Good News Travels Fast. That's the one. So like this chapter, we saw a lot of armor. So we had like the wedding, and then this guy, I think it's this one right here behind Digby, goes on this like journey to the castle to let the soldiers know. See, there we go. Like super simplified. We want to keep consistency with our like armor design style. So we see them like saluting. We see Captain Martin here talking to this guy. And then, yeah, so we have kind of a pre-established look. We can modify it a little bit as I go forward. I do want to improve. I don't want to be stuck drawing things in a rudimentary way if I don't have to be. But I also just don't want to go like too far, too fast and break the immersion, like the world building and stuff that we have already created. So that's kind of like my thinking there. So that said, let's go ahead and unhide these other poses and get these other characters that are supposed to be back here behind these two. So I'm going to go ahead and label this top one line art, label the pose layer poses, and then we're going to create a new layer to work on the line art for these other characters in the background. Summer Guy says, no cutoff just gets pulled into a wormhole. Don't let realism and physics stand in the way of looks. AI taught me it's okay to have a leg vanish halfway down. The leg specifically and know their body parts. Got it. Learning from AI on it. Okay. So I'm going to pull my references back in front of my face. Oops, grabbed the wrong one. What I actually wanted was this one. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I'm putting a reference up. Oh, my reference got all wonky. Right, because I need to add these other three characters, and these other three characters are the King, Digby, and Marty. And just again, here's our cast of characters. So we're talking about, we did Martin, right? This guy right here. We did Martha. Digby's the one sitting on the table. The King is going to be to the far right. And Miss Dorothy here is going to be standing next to the King. That's the plan. So we're going to do that. And I think Dorothy will be the easiest, so we'll start with her. Sometimes I just like to start where it's easiest, and that's good for warm-up too, right? You can't blame me for that, right? Okay. So I'm also going to give Dorothy a new outfit as well, just like we were saying with everybody else. They've gone through, like they've gotten out of what they've been wearing for the last several chapters, and they've had like a chance to like go to the rooms and clean up and change clothes. And so we're going to do that. We're going to change their clothes. And I want to give Dorothy, that's the wrong pen for background characters because it's way too thick. I want to give Dorothy this dress that she's wearing in the vision that she had back in chapter 6 with Martin. And it's got this like belt on it. Some random guy. I just found a line which I forgot how to line. It splits off and loops back and forth everywhere. Is your computer fighting you by chance? Like, are you in a battle for control with your computer right now? Because it kind of seems like it. Okay, so she's got a split in the side of her dress, and then she's got this underskirt on. The longer dress that she's wearing under the top one, the top tunic. Can I really maybe go a little bit thinner? Yeah, I can. Like that. There we go. Oh wow, that got like super dark all of a sudden. Okay. So that's good. And then the top, like all the other tunic wearing. Why I don't want her to be that endowed. That was not the point. Let's see, which way is the body facing? This way? So we should see it kind of like this. Sometimes you just need a little line of action to help you figure out your angles. Here we go. So the way I did, oh, it's gonna be so hard to do really small like this because this dress had like several tiers of like bumpiness in the sleeve where it was kind of like, what do you call it? Gathered, like the gathering stitch that makes the dress kind of, now it's gonna look like a freaking pinata. Bear with me here. Okay. She needs a fancy pink hat. Probably with glitter. You know, the original dress I gave her was kind of outlandish. It was really super ridiculous. So like the dress we're used to seeing her in is this one, right? But the original, like the original looked like this. It was some high fantasy polka dotted Anya from Anastasia looking thing like this. This was her original dress that I did when I was concepting, which I still think is pretty cute, complete with big bow and hair and white gloves, but I just didn't think it wasn't the right aesthetic for the direction I took the world building. So this is way more, I don't know, like less medieval, more Renaissance, I guess, and the world building that I kind of went with was a little bit more medieval instead. So I wanted to kind of like adjust for, you know, consistency for, I don't know what else to say. Like, that's just kind of like, that's it. That was the plot. That was the whole point. The point was to make sure everything worked together. Oh my goodness, I've already created so many layers just for this one teeny tiny little dress in the background here. But that's fine, that's fine. We can work with this, this is fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so is this dress, so it's got a wide, like a really wide round neckline. Okay, we can do that. We can work with that. And we're gonna keep it moving. I apologize if it feels like we're kind of really overstaying our welcome on this one pose, but we gotta get it right, you know? It's not over until it's over. We're not done drawing them until we're done drawing them, so. Even if it's really tiny and really far in the background, I just want it to be, you know, these aren't no-name characters. These are the main cast, you know, so I still want to represent them appropriately, even if it's taking way too long. In my story, in my main story, the characters, just some random guy, the characters were pink to spite the church because they won't let normal people wear pink. It's basically a way of saying hashtag. Okay. It kind of like just stopped at hashtag. We're rebelling against you and don't care. There was the rest of the line. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and figure out what we're gonna do about Dot's hair here. And the rest of like her face as well. Okay, so with Dot, she has round glasses. So let's get in here and let's make these round glasses. And we'll turn them a little bit like this to go on the face at this angle. They kind of look like Spider-Man eyes, not gonna lie. But that was not the point. The point was not to make her look like Spider-Man. It's definitely not what we're going for here. Whose line is it in this one? Let's see. Is this really necessary? It's her line. Okay. So now you can kind of see how the scene is coming together, by the way. Like, take a look. We have Marty is getting outfitted in her armor, and Dot back here is still trying to fight it. She doesn't want this. So we have Dot back here. Like, is this really necessary? Like, I don't think this is something we should be doing kind of attitude, you know? And the king is who she's talking to. That's why he's kind of like standing off here to the side. Eke, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm glad that you were able to make it and join us this fine Saturday day. We are working on our webtoon. I'm working on a webtoon, and then if you would like to also be working on a webtoon, I encourage you to join us and keep us in the background while you do your thing. And if not, you're welcome to just join, hang out, chill, chat, watch the art unfold as I struggle to make my characters look like what I want them to look like, especially at this scale, because these are really tiny in the background characters. And then this is kind of like how these two are going to look in the foreground. Speaking of foreground, I think at this point, knowing that these guys are going to sit here, we can kind of start erasing. Oh, it almost pains me to do this. Start erasing the part where they overlap the panel. I'm gonna have them break out of the panel. It's like genuinely hard to watch this, but I have to erase everything that's happening in the scene behind them. including this beautiful background that I worked so hard on. But it helps to draw the background by itself in full so that you can kind of make sure that you're getting the right scale and angles of everything before you add your characters to it. And bonus, if you do that, you can save the background with no people in it and reuse it later if you need to. So I'm pretty sure if I opened up this folder and went to my Webtoons, Venerable, I have a folder for reusable settings, and if I remembered correctly yesterday, yeah, I saved this background by itself. So I'm always able to come back and reuse this. So drawing the whole thing out was not totally in vain. Even if I'm erasing and covering up a lot of it now, I could always come back to the space in a future panel, or even in a future comic if I needed to if I needed another armory for any reason. And I was using the same style of art, which I'm not planning to do for my next comic. My next comic that you saw on the thumbnail, I'm planning to use a very different art style. But that said, having reusable settings even for this same comic would be useful, because you never know if you're gonna want to just drop it back in and be like, I'm gonna reuse that setting. I'm gonna put another scene in that room because it makes sense to. It works for the scene, and I already have the background drawn, so why not? In cases like that, it's super nice to have already fully drawn your background with no people in it and saved it so that you can use it again. Just a teensy bit of advice from personal experience. And Emeka says, thanks. Some random guy says, I'm hoping to reuse this background. I've dumped so much time into it. Yeah, when you talk about the things that you're doing, whoosh, I could never. You really do go hard on everything. I don't know why you make everything so painful on yourself. But if it's a point of pride for you and it makes you happy, I'm definitely not going to get in the way of that. Do you, You do you. Sunroom Guy, this will likely be the cover for my web novel. That's awesome. I'm glad for you that you're working on that. It's nice to be able to kind of cross-platform, to take your written works and create artwork from them. That's been my biggest inspiration for most of my art. If you went to my old DeviantArt account, you would see that all of it's just based on stories that I've written with my friends. And that we just decided, that looks so much better, doesn't it? That we just decided we were going to basically roleplay like D&D, except not D&D, and with our original characters, and then I would just take and make art out of all of them. So, goodness gracious, let's see. If I went to my account, my DeviantArt, here we go, PerryPictures, see? DeviantArt, gallery, you have roleplay applications. These are characters I've designed for roleplays. These are all my OCs, right? Then we've got RP group art, which is the vast majority of my artwork. 132 of them are in here. And these are all things, this one's on the thumbnail. This is Katie, who is going to be the main character in my next webtoon that I'm working on behind the scenes, and we'll eventually stream that at some point. Here she is again, just being awesome. And oh gosh, what was the point of this? The point of this was to show that most of my artwork has been for writing groups, roleplay writing groups. And I draw my characters, I draw my friends' characters. Here's when I very first started doing this art style in Krita, the one that I'm using now. I did this based on an RP between two player characters. Neither one of these are mine though, they're just friends that I played with. And now I'm using the same style, same creative brushes to draw my comic for Webtoon. You need to be careful with DeviantArt as they're a site which uses AI. I know. They've redacted what they did, which was auto-feed everybody's deviations into their AI, which is totally bogus, 1000% bogus. But now they've created any new uploads you make, you can opt out of the AI, which is not okay that they did that in the first place, but I have like 15 years of my art history, basically my entire art history is on DeviantArt, and I didn't feel like putting in the labor to move it. So I just left it. It was already too late. They had already used it. So I decided to put my energy somewhere else instead of fighting that fight right now. So that's kind of just where I am with all of that. All right, so let's keep going with our background characters here. We're gonna keep drawing them so we can get the scene finished. And let me know if you have any questions or if you guys want to talk about your creations. That's fine too. I'm happy to learn what you guys are up to. Have you guys seen the new Webtoon contest that's going on? If you're thinking about making a Webtoon, it might also be worth considering making it for the Webtoon 2025 contest. The requirements are pretty steep, I'm not gonna lie. They do require that you make, so you gotta pick a category, right? The one that I'm gonna do, the thumbnail of this video that you're watching, is gonna be in the romance drama category. That's what I'm working on. And then the submission details, where are those? They're clickable somewhere. Here, back. Here's the details. Like, you gotta be able to do 40 or more panels per episode for at least 3 episodes. And that's unless you're doing like comedy slice of life. You gotta do 15 panels, but then it's 6 total episodes, so the number increases here. It's a lot of panels. It's a lot. It's like, I think these are the standards that they use for their professional full-time Webtoon artist. So it's a huge commitment, but if you're feeling really passionate about your creation and you want to get started on something like this, I personally really want to try and enter. I have a full-time job. I'm moving in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm moving into a new home, which is going to eat up a ton of my time. Plus, I have this Webtoon, right? Like the one I'm working on right now. And I've got my channel to run. I've got like winter holidays coming up, which means I'm doing a lot of covering down for people at work. So I'm doing a lot of work and I'm covering for a lot of people. So there's just so much going on. I don't even know if it's possible that I'm going to be able to pull off this entry for this contest. But my hope is that I can do it. I really would like to enter the contest. Whoops. I did not realize I drew right directly onto that layer. Let's not do that. I will lock that layer and draw onto a different layer because holy smokes, that scared me. But yeah, if you were thinking about making a Webtoon, is that something you'd be interested in maybe entering? Or do you think that that's like the requirements are just a little bit too steep for starting out if you're just getting started? Because I know it's a lot to ask, and if we have any chance of success, we have to be honest with ourselves about like what we have to do, what's required of us, and that kind of thing. Pulling up all those windows means I accidentally hid my reference again. There we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good for Dot. Oh, she needs eyebrows. So eyebrows aside, that's pretty good. There we go. So now if I hide the pose layer and then I just add one more layer, we can add some shadows, and that should really help bring this together. Need an eraser. There we go. Some guy, I can't work fast. I think there was once an expression, you can't rush art or something like that. You can in the industry. Unfortunately, gone are the days when you could take your sweet time making art professionally. I think with few exceptions, they really just don't sponsor artists to like live on their estates and spend years working on masterpieces like they used to. It's just not really the reality we live in. But when art is your hobby and you're doing it for fun, you absolutely can take your time. There's no need to feel pressured, especially for a contest. It's fully and wholly and completely voluntary, you know? Nobody is saying you have to do it. So if you want to take your time with your art, by all means, take your time with your art and let no one tell you otherwise. I'm actually surprised at how much I've been letting there be dead air. I'm usually better about talking during streams than I have been today. I think I'm just focusing a lot and like trying really hard to be super focused. So we're gonna merge these layers, rename that line art so I don't lose it. And then we're gonna come back to this and we're gonna erase this line that just kind of like goes behind her here. All right, and so we have one more person drawn into the scene, which is good, and she's the one who's talking. I also I know that this is probably something I could fix in Clip Studio Paint if I just messed with the settings a little bit more, but one thing that just drives me a little bit nuts is how these speech bubbles kind of like, they just don't, they don't create enough of a tapered of the white space inside the tail of the speech bubble, right? Like it should be like this, but that's what it gave me. So I'm just kind of like drawing the tail in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna save because I haven't saved in a hot minute and I'm a little bit nervous after all of that. I also need to free up space on my computer because it's been telling me lately with videos that I've been trying to edit that I can't edit it because I haven't left enough free space. So I've got to work on that. Someone guys says I'm on CSP now. I still have 1.0 because I'm cheap. I bought a version of it a couple years ago, like right before they went subscription model. And then I was like, haha, foot in the door. I got the version that I can own without subscribing, blah, 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 blah. And then I did something, I allowed myself to be tempted by the asset store. And I don't even know how to use assets. So I'm like downloading all these assets. I think it was brushes. I wanted brushes. And I'm hoping eventually I'll get around to using them because I subscribed. I bought the subscription version just so that I could have those brushes. And I still don't even know how to use Clip Studio Paint other than like setting up these strips with the like, I just use it for creating my panels and my word bubbles. Like this template, minus the background, I came in here and drew this in Krita yesterday. But like just these blank panels and the word bubbles, I do that. Whoops, I didn't mean to move that. I do that part in like this. This is basically how much I do in Clip Studio. Just this part. And then I export it, you know, into this like empty strip with just panels and word bubbles. And I come in here to Krita because I love Krita brushes. Krita brushes are life. That's how I get this beautiful sketchy look that makes me so happy. That makes it look, to me, it makes it look like it was drawn on paper. It's a little pencil-y. What was I trying to say? Oh, and then I do all of that part here. So I don't know why I felt the need to subscribe to Clip Studio. I want to use it. I want to learn it. I'm going to learn it, and then I'm going to use it for the next chapter or next comic. That's my plan. But in the meantime, I'm just using it to create paneling and word bubbles. And now we need to add Digby and the king scares me because I can't seem to draw him consistently, so we're gonna go over here and draw Digby instead because he's less scary. I'm gonna like leave the worst one to last, like the hardest. I'm gonna save the hardest one for last. So for Digby, Digby, I'm gonna show you his reference, right? That's Digby up there. And then here's like his outfit. This is who we're gonna draw sitting on the table. Back here on this side. So that is my plan now, to draw Digby sitting on the table, but first I need a drink. Okay, let's get started. No more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not dilly-dallying, but basically dilly-dallying. I think you can still get perpetual license for 3.0, says Summer M Guy. You're talking about Clip Studio though, right? And there's no changes needed. Well, that's good. If you give it time, you can learn it. It's not hard when you start getting of it. Yeah, I need to spend time on it, but that's, so remember like 15 minutes ago, we were talking about everything I have to do in the next couple of months. Moving, covering shifts for coworkers who are taking holiday breaks, working on these webtoons for Venerable before I can even start my contest entry, working on my YouTube channels, plural, because I have this and I have the gaming channel, and I'm also doing the podcast with Friendy and Pilfer. And I also still have a lot of health stuff that I have to do. So I'm like spending a lot of time at the doctor still, and it's about to get ramped up again. We're going to end up way back at the hospital again. The clinic, I should say, the clinic, not the hospital. And be spending a lot more time there once more. And unfortunately, that means even less time for learning Clip Studio Paint, which already I didn't have like a lot of time for anyway, because if I have free time, I'm trying to use it on stuff like this. I'm trying to be pretty effective with my time. I want to stream, but I can't find the energy system right now, guy. I wish you the best at finding energy. It is not my strong suit. I don't even know how I'm doing it right now. Like, who even, where did it even come from? How did I get energy? Whose energy is this? Who did I take it from? I think I need to erase, hang on, this like line here going behind his arm, because I can't see where his arm's supposed to be with that background element there. Okay, and so then the hand kind of just folds over like that. And then he has his vest on. Oh my gosh. This line is ridiculous. It's like not, it doesn't need to be that serious. There we go. Maybe not even that serious. Let's hide the background. The background's kind of making this way too hard to see what I'm doing, so we'll hide that. Probably took it from you. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I sapped your energy. I would offer you some Pop-Tarts or something to make up for it, but I'm not sure quite how to send those digitally, so my apologies, I guess. That's the best I can do. Oh my goodness, let's see. I really want to figure out how am I going to do. So the vest needs to come down like this. I'm thinking like this, probably. And then he has the shirt is really long. His shirt's also kind of tunicky. Kind of looks like this. And then if I go like this, that's how I get those sort of like designs on there that kind of like, it's just to make the texture for the fabric that I like. It's kind of like this up here in the sleeves, except when I did the sleeves, I guess I can just redo it. I did it with a regular pen, and this would look way better if I did it with, I say that, but I don't know for sure if that's true. But I think it would look better if we were consistent here. And if we made the top and the sleeves and the bottom of the shirt match. So there we go. That's a little better, right? Did the music stop? I feel like it did. Let me check. It did. It's interesting. Did we hit the bottom of the list? We did. Okay. I guess I've been streaming longer than I thought. Even vegan, so there's a lot that you can't eat, says some random guy. I guess Pop-Tarts that are out then? I suppose it's okay that I can't send you Pop-Tarts over the internet then. So, since you can't eat them anyway. Let's see about finishing off this guy's outfit in this wardrobe, or in this pose. You know what I've been forgetting a lot lately is his belts, right? Like he's wearing a belt that wraps around his body twice. And I haven't been drawing it in a lot of recent panels, and I feel kind of bad about that. So let's see. His vest should come up like this. His neckline goes kind of like, oops. Kind of like that. Really, come on. I don't know why the eraser keeps deciding not to be an eraser. And then for the other side, we really need the other side of his vest to come down like this. There we go. I think we managed to make this look kind of like it's supposed to. We just need this to come around the neck and then down the back like that. He's also wearing a scarf though, which I completely left out. So I'm gonna have to figure out now how to add that in without losing the readability at this very zoomed in size, this very teensy tiny size. Referencing dead memes to confuse kids is fun. You should reference something. The Nyan cat? And keep it as a pet. Well, I'm gonna have to take your word for it that that's a dead meme because I don't even know what that is. So, sorry. I do want to kind of like, I want to at least finish the one panel. I can't believe I spent a whole stream on one panel and I haven't even finished it yet. This is kind of crazy. I mean, but it is a establishing shot. It is a pretty detailed panel in my defense. So I think that that counts for something. And now somebody's like using a leaf blower outside. It's so loud. I don't know if you guys can hear that. All right, let's take a look. So he's gonna be sitting over there and it's gonna look fine once it's done. This is gonna be a really pretty panel, I think. It's gonna be like what I've been looking for because I've been having a rough time being satisfied with the last few that I've done. I think this chapter's gonna hit. That's what I think. But I'm feeling like maybe I'll end stream a little early today. I've only been streaming I usually try to stream for 2 hours. I've got 10 minutes left. Let's finish the last 10 minutes. Maybe I can get Digby done over here sitting on the table and then we can call it a wraps. I just hope that the noise from the leaf blower isn't too loud. So we'll hide the background again so we can come back over here and work on Digby. There was a smartphone game back in the day and Nanny Cat is a Pop-Tart cat. Okay. Gotcha. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. The rainbow Pop-Tart, cat riding a Pop-Tart on a rainbow or something like that. Pretty sure. All right, so our boy Digby has these like pretty high boots. They don't... Actually, they're not that high. Taking a look, the boots don't come up that high. That shovel's way too small in that example photo, but the boots do not come up that high. I repeat, the boots don't come up that high. They're not like knee highs. So this should be fine, and I just have it so that it looks like the pants are tucked in. So we're just gonna kind of like create this like little like tucked in shape here like this. Oh no, not enough memory. Oh no. Reload. Alright, so it looks like my stream is not gonna make it. I'm having memory issues. Let me know in chat if the stream is not, if it like goes dead in the water, okay? And I'll do my best to respond to that. We need to go ahead and get this done. I told you I gotta clear out the memory on my computer because it is definitely not having it. It's like telling me like, you know, like you're done, which I don't love. Like I would prefer that it didn't do that to me. That'd be great. My phone is, or my computer is being so mean. It's like, you don't have the memory for this. You need to call it quits. I don't know if I'm doing that right. We'll keep it simple. Okay. Man. I also have Windows 11 now, and it's the oldest CPU support. I'm on a... Wait, am I on a Mac? What am I on? I think I'm using... No, it's a Windows. It's an Alienware Windows computer. I just have to clean up my storage because I've maxed it out, and so it hasn't been wanting to record videos for me. It's giving me a hard time right now with the stream. So I think I'm going to have to... Even if I wanted to stream longer, I think I'm going to have to close the stream anyway. Just because I'm running out of bandwidth, apparently. I just gotta get the rest of Digby on here. I think, did I start a new layer? I did. Is this, okay, there's nothing on this layer yet, okay. So with Digby, I'm gonna give him, I'm gonna start here with the hairline and the ear. And then we'll do like this. And there we have ourselves the head shape, right? Digby has some pretty luxurious curls himself, so. And this pen is being way too thick. I don't know which one I had selected, but it definitely wasn't the right one. Okay. Still having a little bit of a struggle bus here. But it's really about giving the impression of the right shape at this point because it's really small, right? We're like working on like a really small scale here. And I think that'll do it for Digby's hair. He just needs a face and some shading, and we're gonna be basically done. I know I keep saying that, but like I'm really trying to at least finish, like find a good stopping point, like finish something so it doesn't feel like we just gave up or something. I don't know. Or like I don't want it to feel like the stream is incomplete. Does that make sense? There we go. Okay. Still not wearing a scarf. I don't know if I even want to add it, even though he should be wearing it. You know what? Everybody else got a wardrobe change except Digby. We can just take the scarf off. It's fine. I think if we hide the pose layer, we can just grab the little shading brush. Yeah, this one. Come in here, start adding a couple shadows where they're needed. And that's all the wrong space. When it comes to hair, it should be on the inside of the bendy part. Like that. And then we can do the inside of the vest, under the arm, on the shirt, under the belt. Again, under the vest. And I'm going to, for funsies what? It still looks like a 10-year-old school computer. Oh, your computer? It's kind of weird to like be doing such small so many details on such a small illustration, because this really is super in the background. He's like really tiny. But we did it. We have ourselves Digby, we have ourselves Dot, we have ourselves Martin and Marty. We don't have the king yet. This guy back here. I will add that, but I'm going to add it off stream because I'm going to go ahead and call it now before my good luck runs out with the live stream. Gosh, what was I trying to say? Or with the computer and its memory limits or its space limits or whatever it is. Thank you guys for joining me on stream. I'm going to have the computer cleaned up and ready before the next one. And we're gonna, for the foreseeable future, be working on some comics. So if you're interested in comics, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys here again next time. That's everything. Bye.